Hello, everybody. Happy Mindfulness Monday. Happy Labor Day. Dr. Mel here. In the flesh, relaxing. It's Labor Day. Clearly, I am in comfortable clothing. It's really nice here in Minnesota, so I'm wearing my shorts. This is my little porch area, if you want to see. We got a nice little couch here. It's nice and relaxing. I usually do Mindfulness Monday in the office, so you get to get a little sneak peek into my house here. But we got this nice little porch area. For those of you who don't know, my husband and I live by Lake Nokomis, so literally that direction is a 2-minute walk to the lake, and we walk around it. We're probably going to do that right after this. But I wanted to come on here and look at all my plant babies. You know, some of you ask if I have children. I say no, I have plant children. And this is just a few of them. You can see all my like crystals and stuff. I am a hippie. So anyway, I think my husband just got home from the cabin, so I'll make this brief, but just wanted to come on here. It's Labor Day, so I hope that you all, there's a glare on my glasses. Okay, let's see if I can like shift that. Here we go. That's a little better. So a little bit of labor of love for you here. It's Labor Day. It's Monday. I hope many of you are taking the day off. And I know a lot of you have kids going back to school. I know a lot of you are dealing with that school transition where things can get stressful. Things can be up in the air depending on what school district you're in. So I get you, I see you, and know that Michael and I are here for you, help your nervous system get re-regulated. We've been seeing a lot of you, parents especially, dealing with stuff. We'll be back in the office on Wednesday. So with all that being said, I get that there are a lot of different viewpoints and a lot of different beliefs and perceptions and opinions circling around the culture right now, and that can be very stressful in itself. And so I wanted to come on here and invite you all to hold another perception at this time. You can be loud, it's okay. All right. I'm inviting you all to hold another perception at this time. And I'm going to own up to where I have maybe contributed to the drama cycle. My last Mindfulness Monday, I talked about the drama cycle, the drama triangle. Maybe it was a Mindfulness Monday, maybe it was another video I did. I don't know. I'm always teaching, always putting out content, and I don't know what platform it's always on. But I know recently I talked about the drama triangle, where we recognize and must recognize where we are contributing to drama in the cycle, and where maybe we're projecting our own fears onto others and playing the victim role. And it doesn't matter what side you take on really anything. If you're projecting fear and hate and blame and shame on someone else, that means you're also playing the victim role. Whether you see it or you're perceiving it or not, you are. And I recognize where I have been playing this, because let's be honest, there is a lot of us dealing with fear right now. And it doesn't matter what side. You could be fearful of receiving a certain medical procedure because of a past medical experience, and maybe you have medical trauma. You could be fearful of not receiving it because of a past medical trauma, or because of something that you heard from someone else, or maybe you've had a loved one die from something, right? And it doesn't matter if it's recent about, and I'm trying not to use the words here because I think you all understand what I'm talking about. I'm trying not to use the words, not to be aloof, but in reality, if I say certain things, this video will get taken down and this group will be flagged, and I don't want that. Michael and I, our intention is to have this group be open, be loving, have a connection to people in the Twin Cities area and beyond, and really come together and have discussions that are important to be having at this time, and have an open mind and use critical thought, analysis, and critical thinking, and knowing that it's okay to disagree. Because at the end of the day, when you get out of the fear cycle and when you get out of the victim cycle and you recognize what's behind all of it, is that we all have our own fears, and we all desire to connect, and we all desire to be loved and give and receive love. Behind all of it, we all are desiring connection at this time. We all are desiring community at this time. We all are desiring a place where we can be ourselves and have authentic conversations and discussions and not be judged and be accepted for our choices. And I get that. And Michael and I get that. And so something that's really helped me at this time that I wanted to share on here during Labor Day is, one, look at your contribution to the conversation. Are you coming at it from anger, from blame, from projection? Are you in your own fear cycle of saying, well, I don't understand why these people are doing this or why these people aren't doing this? Is that coming from a place of fear in your own self? So recognizing where are you contributing to the cycle. Two, recognizing your own fear behind it and going into that. Where does that fear stem from? Is it from a past experience? Is it from a root experience? And is the fear actually aligned with who you're becoming? Most of the time it's not. Most of the time the fears we have are illusions. How can you align with the feeling of the fear? How can you feel the fear in your body? And as you feel it and you feel safer in your body, how can you hold a different thought? How can you start to tap into more like, well, what if this happened instead of this outcome, right? Oftentimes when our brain operates from fear in the amygdala, we collapse into polarized thinking, into binary thinking, which is right or wrong, good or bad, all or nothing principle, right? And our brain doesn't have the capacity to see any other opportunity or possibility beyond just black and white. And I know many of us have been living in that polarized binary system and energy for the last, honestly, year and a half. And that is very taxing. It's taxing on the body, it's taxing on the mind. And so something that, again, I think can really help is, one, recognize the contribution of yourself, recognize your own fear, recognize that you're human. And most of our projections, if it comes from anger or you're belittling someone or you're name calling, it's coming from a place of your own fear. And oftentimes the exact thing you are projecting is something that you have yet to learn to love within yourself. And we're going to be talking and going deeper and doing actual work on this in our Inspire Life Immersion this upcoming spring. So I'm giving you a little teaser and taste, but we're going to be going big into that because it's really important that the more we recognize our own fear and our own patterns and our own polarities, we can actually become more whole. And when we become more whole, we learn to love those parts of ourselves where, like, gosh, I recognize this person is in fear, but I also have fear in my own body. And it's coming from this experience. And we can like honor ourselves and have grace for ourselves and have a conversation with that fear part of us, we can still act according to our own alignment. The fear isn't going to go away, my friends. Like when you expand and you get bigger and you take on new things and you evolve and you heal, it's just a different version of fear, right? You think that these people who are, Elon Musk and all these people like doing really crazy things, like big things in the world, you think they don't have fear? They have it. They just act anyway, right? Like they're human. They have last time I checked, I don't know, Elon Musk might be different. He might be an alien. But we all have a brainstem. We all have an amygdala. And unless you cut those out of your brain, you're going to have fear because fear keeps you alive and it protects you. And we have more of a brain than just that. And it's my responsibility as a practitioner to help you tap into that, I believe. So another thing too that I'll invite you as we wrap up is how can you hold, one of my mentors says this, he says, how can you hold two opposing beliefs simultaneously in your mind at the same time? That is a true marker of leadership. That is a true marker of success. When you can hold, again, two opposing beliefs, so something totally contradicting each other. If you can hold that in your consciousness at the same time, two polarities, actually like using more than just one part of your brain, when you can hold that and recognize both exist and still act and stand for something and still have empathy for the other side, that is a true mark of leadership. Because the thing is, unless we take a stand, we're going to be wobbly and wafting back and forth and not have certainty in who we are. So it is important to take a stand on what you believe in, even if the other side doesn't agree. And you can still have empathy for them, right? You can still acknowledge like, yo, I get it. I see you. I hear you. I understand your upbringing and your story. And this is where I stand. And let me tell you, when you stand in certainty and you stand in your groundedness, you're way more magnetic and attractive in any area of your life because you're standing in your truth, right? And that's what that means. Standing in your truth doesn't mean you're an asshole to other people who have a different truth than you. But when I believe, this is my belief, just saying, when we can all stand in our truth in an aligned way, in an empathetic way, in a holistic being way, it's actually better for everyone around you. And here's, a paradigm stretch for your nervous system. When we can all stand in our truth, even if those truths seem to oppose each other, it actually balances out the universe. And the beautiful thing is when someone is standing in their truth in an aligned, grounded, empathetic way, they can have empathy for the other side and allow it to coexist. And when you are in alignment with your truth, doesn't matter what the other person says, you actually vibrate and operate and function at a different energetic capacity. And again, a lot of this we're going to be going into the Inspire Life Immersion this spring, because I get that some of this might be like, whoa, she's using like really esoteric terms. What the heck does this mean for my everyday life? How do I apply that when I'm in conversations? How do I apply that when I'm at my job, when I'm working with my kids, right? When my kids are going back to school, that's a theme right now. But that's what I believe, is that alignment is key. Alignment, what we do in the office, body-mind alignment, when you're energetically aligned, it doesn't necessarily matter what the other person is doing. It's not that you don't care. You're just operating a different energetic frequency, which allows the vibration of the collective to rise up. And right now, we need to rise into our own alignment. And we need to rise up beyond the fear, beyond the victimhood, beyond the drama. Again, it's existing in all stories and in all paradigms, my friends. It doesn't matter what side you're on, but it's there. And I believe that there's a big ascension happening and a calling for us to rise into our truth and allow others to do the same without contributing to the bashing and the hate and the drama. I hope this is making sense. So I wanted to come on here on Labor Day. Hope you're getting some good rest. I hope you take away some nuggets. Let me know. Post in the comments below what you got out of this. If it's YouTube, please share what you're appreciating about this content. If you're in our Inspired Living community, share, what's something you want to rise up into? What's something that you desire to stand in your truth more? What's something that maybe you've been afraid to stand in your truth because you're afraid that someone's going to judge you? And one thing I'll leave you with is, if you're noticing disagreements with people and you're noticing kind of that anger and tension arise in your nervous system, I would suggest that if you're going to have any sort of healthy debate, you do it in person and not on social media. I'm guilty of that. I've been very mindful of like who I'm engaging with, what I'm saying, how I'm engaging, making sure that I'm understanding their perspective, that I have all, understanding. I would just encourage you to do these things in person, because when we're face to face, we are different. Our social nervous system's in train. We probably say less hateful things when we're with each other because we recognize that like, wow, this is an actual human in front of me and I'm not being a troll behind my keyboard, because you're not being held accountable to like how you're showing up, right? I think we should go back to like old school debate rooms where we just sit in a room and we have conversations, because when you're with humans, like in person, there's a lot more empathy and you're not just yelling at a technological device. That's something wild to think about. What would the world be like right now if we didn't even have social media and phones and computers? Anyway, that's for another Mindfulness Monday, but I hope you all are having a great Labor Day. Let me know what you got out of this in the comments, and we will be back in the office on Wednesday. And if you're curious about the retreat I've mentioned, the immersion I've mentioned, send me a message on Instagram, on here. I've got a lot of you on a list. It's going to be super fun. We're finalizing details, getting the location figured out. Most likely it's going to be in the later March, which kind of puts a little bit of uncertainty. Could be snow, could be hot. We don't know, but that's adaptability, right? So anyway, love you all. Peace, love. Keep inspiring. Cheers.